My husband shared a meme with me yesterday, which said, with no sports on TV and due to March sadness, I got to know my wife. She's actually really nice, works in the medical field. We laughed for a minute and then thought, it's probably a little too true for comfort. If you're watching this on the day it's released, then you are probably stuck at home with the rest of America or half of the world, with your husband or wife quarantined. And even if your marriage is fine, being stuck in a house with your spouse and maybe even your kids for the never-ending foreseeable future can be overwhelming and stressful. And if your marriage is rocky, then being stuck at home with your spouse is likely to bring a lot of tension to the surface. And if you're watching this later, then you likely remember when all of us were stuck at home, quarantined. And the information will still apply, even for a snowstorm, terrible weather, getting over a surgery, or anything else that might keep you stuck at home. Either way, I want to share 3 things to help make your marriage stronger, even when you're stuck at home. My name is Kimberly Holmes, CEO at Marriage Helper. Please subscribe to this channel for relevant and researched relationship principles that work to enrich, fix, or save your marriage. Subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications. So here's tip number 1. Be your spouse's friend, not your spouse's fixer. This is not the time to try and fix any problems. You may think, now that my spouse is a captive audience, it's the perfect time to hash out all of our problems and work out all of our differences. No. Life is already stressful, and you, your spouse, and your family are really just trying to readjust to what normal looks like for the next several weeks. Here's what I mean. Let's say that my husband and I have grown apart and we don't really talk anymore. The intimacy and passion, completely gone. I know he's been unhappy in our marriage. He's been staying out more every night, going out with friends, coming home at 3 a.m. And now because of what's going on, he's at home more. He isn't going into work because they told the employees to work from home. So we went from hardly seeing each other to being around each other all day. And I decide this is a great opportunity to get him to talk. So day 1, I walk into his room while he's trying to work and I begin to hover so that I can be around and present so that he will more than likely talk to me when he gets bored. But he doesn't. So over the next few days, when I realize that isn't working and he's seeming a little more annoyed, then maybe I actually do try to talk to him. So I still hover, but in my mind, I'm doing the right thing. I've had a complete conversation with myself as to why what I'm doing makes sense. I tell myself, I'm being so kind by offering him water and coffee and food. I'm really doing my part by asking him how things are going. Look how nice I'm being to him. Meanwhile, he's thinking, I'm trying to focus on my work. Why does she keep trying to interrupt? So then when I do try and talk to him, ask him what he's up to or how things are going or when he'll be done for a lunch break, and he pushes me off, it's because this is not normal for him and because he's trying to focus on other things. But I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about how I'm mad. And the anger then escalates the things that I'm thinking and how I'm feeling to where I finally start thinking, he can't treat me this way. What a jerk. Does he not see everything I'm doing for him right now? So then, maybe the next time we run into each other in the kitchen, I'm slamming cabinets and avoiding him, being completely passive-aggressive, because in my mind, I've had a whole fight in my head with him, which he's completely unaware of. He is just trying to work. All because I took matters into my own hands to try and fix things, which created more problems. Remember, humans resist change, even good change at first, because we are used to a predictable pattern of behavior. So don't all of a sudden try and hover around your spouse or get them to open up their heart to you just because you are now together more than normal. Slowly let it happen, naturally. How? Begin by being friends. But this is my spouse, you're thinking, not my friend. Yes, but you started out as friends. What got them to fall in love with you the first time is what will bring them to fall deeper in love with you or more in love with you now. Honor their space. Honor the stress that they are having to manage right now, and then simply be available for conversation and encouragement when the time arises. Maybe at the end of the day, when they emerge from work or whatever it might be, you ask them how their day was. Don't bring up the relationship problems. I'll explain more about that in a minute. Just be a friend. Don't try and fix them. Don't try and fix the situation. If the opportunity arises to talk about issues that have happened in your relationship, then you can take advantage of it. But please don't try and create the opportunity. It will more than likely backfire. Don't lock them in a room and say, let's talk about us. it won't go well. Which leads me to point number 2. The more stressful life is, the less stressful your home environment or your relationship needs to be. Even if we just consider the psychology of the mind and the way that our bodies are made physiologically, we know that when our minds perceive a stressor, so that our autonomic nervous system raises its flags and prepares our bodies to fight, flight, or freeze, the more stress that we have in our lives, the more our body suspects everything around us to be a stressor. So if work is stressful and you come home to a stressful household with a bickering spouse or loud children, then your body perceives that as one more stressor that it needs to fight or flight or freeze from. Life is stressful. Don't bring even more stress into that by trying to force your spouse to talk about issues when your relationship isn't ready for that. Even when the environment in the world and in your life isn't ready for that. So are you supposed to just let issues continue to happen? No. Are you wondering when you can talk to your spouse about issues that you have in your marriage? We can help you with that. We have online toolkits and courses and even personal coaching that you can do with our certified marriage helper coaches to guide you on the best ways to address issues with your spouse in a way that will be effective and not destructive. I'll tell you how to find that information at the end of this video, but before that, we have one more point, which is number 3, to work on yourself right now. It's so easy to get stuck in the mental cycle of focusing on everything you wish your spouse would change or do differently. And just like you can't control what's going on in the world right now, you also can't control your spouse. You can only control you, your actions, your reactions, and even your thoughts. But it takes practice. It takes work, but it's worth it. Like I said above, there is a process to falling in love, but the process begins with attraction. Physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual attraction. They are the 4 parts of attraction that you can work on and control to become the best you that you can be. We call it the pies. We have a pies boot camp that can get you kickstarted on working on yourself, yes, even when you're stuck at home, because that's the best time to focus on your pies. You can also watch the linked videos for a deeper dive on the best way to communicate with your spouse. We call it smart contact. And even another video that gives another brief overview of what pies means and what it looks like. But if you want to go ahead and join our community and get started with our insanely affordable toolkits or our intensely effective online courses or our amazingly personal and guided coaching, then visit our website at www.marriagehelper.com or give our office a call at 866-903-0990. Use this time to make your marriage stronger and not more stressful.